I think it's working.
Good evening.
Oh, you're there? Okay.
Yeah,
So, man, just because I didn't put in my last name.
that's interesting.
Yeah. I had a feeling too. I was being lazy. I totally forgot we were watching 1923.
Oh, how do you like it?
I don't know. We just started it.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, oh crap,
Oh no.
I gotta go.
Do you want to reschedule?
Um, no, but we may keep it short.
All right.
Maybe it's like 9 or 9:10.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right to it then.
Okay.
I think we last talked about, your upbringing and how gosh, I don't know how we worded it, but like how wounded women affect the men in their lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um,
Oh, you got paperwork.
huh?
You got paperwork.
Uh, what do you mean?
I just heard papers rattling.
Oh, no, that was just my sweatshirt and my
Oh.
headphones. Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
no. Um,
Well,
yeah, so I guess I'll start with how dad's wounding affect me.
oh yeah. Yeah.
And I think that came from his wounding from his mom. Uh, but yeah, when I was little, uh, I kind of always knew what a whore was, and
Hmm.
that I was one, and so were my sisters.
He used that a lot, unfortunately.
He did, yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. Very derogatory towards women.
yeah. I think women in general, uh, all women, in his opinion.
Hmm.
And with that, he kind of, or I took on this belief that being that was one of the worst things in the world, and also um, that made me responsible for like all the things that were wrong in the world and for fixing them.
How do you remember how old you were when he first said that?
No, I just remember it always being part, like, I always thought that. I think
Mhm.
I was 4 or so, like my first memory is around age 4.
That young. Jeez.
Yeah, and the interesting thing was I knew what it meant to actually like the things you would have to do to be one of those. And I didn't recall ever doing those things, but
What at
if
4? Serious? Come on. What
yeah,
at 4?
yeah.
Come on, man. Preschooler. Jesus.
But I figured if he said so, then
Yeah.
something I must have missed something. So I don't know. That's kind of the foundation of where I learned to be way overly, what is it, hypersensitive, um, hyper diligent, perfectionism,
Mm-hmm.
people pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of just a underlying thread all the time throughout my upbringing, that there was always, so I was, you know there also was a lot of um, I mean, with what you went through with your mom, plus him having those feelings about all of the girls in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother Jimmy, my sister Alicia, like, had their own issues with their dad and our dad. There was a lot of turmoil and violence and a lot of emotional instability in our family growing up. And as the youngest, I just hated all of the turmoil, I guess. And, you know, I, the younger siblings would tease me, and then the older one, like Ravon mainly, would then beat the shit out of you guys. And so she was like my savior and this violent person that terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was always trying to manage everybody's emotions before we got to the place where those things would happen. And obviously, I couldn't because I was too young and you know, everybody had their life going on. Uh, and then Jill actually recently we were talking and she was like, yeah, you were this just annoying little thing that would come in and be like, no, I want things to be this way. And we were all just like, go away. You're just so irritating. It seemed like she actually still felt that way.
Hmm.
So there was that. So with all that, I grow up and well, I wanted to escape the house at all times. So school became my refuge. And a lot of the religion stuff I didn't agree with because it had a lot of uh, women should be in subjection to their husbands. I mean, that's the main one that stands out for me. And I was like, why? No, you know, um, the person who's the smartest should be the one in charge.
Uh, it,
uh, what?
well, yeah, and I think that only works with, I would honestly say, out of the way we were grown up and brought up in the truth, I would I would say less than 20% of marriages actually um, uh, worked worked that way. Like they actually sustained a happy, a truly happy, you know.
Yeah. So you know people that are married that are truly happy.
Um, geez, a couple. Um, but no, because it sometimes religion can be a band-aid, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's a good band-aid because it can help, but I do think that yes, it's a band-aid with, well, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
So
I get
just have
that.
just I'm gonna let you keep going on your train of thought, but I just giving an honest assessment of what I've seen is that just it's human nature. If it just in the right circumstance, and that happens to work with Ashley and I, but that only works because I put her in charge of everything. And I just go
Yeah.
to work. And I never ask her to be in submission, but she always wants to do good by me because that's the way she was brought up. And I haven't treated her in a way where she doesn't want to do that. But that it's rare. It's so rare.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Yeah. So the 80% of families out there where, yeah, you're saying, well, the dad comes home from work and he grabs some beers and maybe he gets angry or whatever. You need to listen to me. And no, this isn't the 50s and the 60s anymore.
Yeah.
Times have
Yeah.
changed. So,
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that has to do with women working and bringing in half the income, so
yeah.
they don't get to like chill at home. If you have children, you're not chilling at home. You're nonstop, never off the clock.
Yep.
Um, and so there's that. So, you know, that could be a whole other podcast.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so I grew up thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to be in subjection to my husband ever. And it needs to be a two-way street.
Hmm.
And um, because my mom was always submissive, or she wasn't submissive. Um, I mean, dad would always say actually that she's not in subjection, and that made her a bad Christian. But she lacked choices because she didn't have her own money. She was so financially dependent on her first husband and then dad as well,
Hmm.
that she would talk about things that she wanted, and things she wanted to do, and she could never do any of them. It was like a joke, and she would laugh it off. And I was always so, I had disdain for her because of that, because it was so disappointing. It sounded like, "Oh, I really want to do that. That sounds great." And she'd be like, "No, but we don't have money for that." And so I just decided I will never depend on a man for money, because I will not depend on someone to make choices for me. I'm going to make my own choices. And the only way I saw to do that was through school.
Hmm.
And dad, actually, rightly so, wasn't a fan of that idea. Um, when I was 4 or 5, I went to him and said, "Oh, I must have been in kindergarten, so I had to be 5 at least, because they must have been talking about college in kindergarten. And when I go to college, I said something about college, and he was like, Danae, we're not college people, we're ground pounders." And I looked at him and I was like, maybe you are.
Right.
So, so from a really young age, I was like, well, that's not happening. I'm not going to be a ground pounder. So, but at the same time, I also believe that college, uh, what was good about that exchange was that I understood, and I learned the statistics in high school. Um, Most people don't use their college degrees. Most people don't make it past their freshman
Hmm.
year. Um, and then if they do make it past their freshman, it's like 30% make it past their freshman year. And then 30% of those graduate. And then like 30% of those actually use their degree. So most people go into a lot of student debt, um, for no reason.
Hmm.
They never use it. So I understood that I wasn't going to be one of those statistics. I think, the college thing is often geared toward people who don't have to uh, get loans for it. It makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense for those people who have sports scholarships, people whose parents are in banking or politics, or are wealthy enough, whatever their profession,
Hmm.
to not go into debt because their kids just make connections, with, it's like a networking thing more than an education thing. It's both education and networking. But the general population, uh, when you don't build this network of powerful people that you've met in college and you don't use your degree, the debt's just not worth it. uh, so in my case, I did use my degree, and but it took me a long time to figure out what it was going to be. Uh, but again, I chose this profession that it was all about money, and it was not about what I really wanted to do. And so I just bought into that story that society tells everybody, get a good job, and you'll have retirement, you can go on vacation once a year, and that will make you happy. And then the next one was get married, have kids, buy a house, have
Mhm.
this stuff, and that will make you happy.
Mhm.
And so I did one of those after another, and I just found myself incredibly stressed and incredibly depressed. And so going into different romantic relationships, I made a lot of mistakes. I was attracted to people who talked to me the way that dad had talked to
Mhm.
us girls. And I ended up in some abusive relationships, and they didn't last that long, a year and a half or so. I never let it escalate to a point where I was like badly beaten. Um, but there were some instances. And so then, I go into this. I kind of swore off men after the last breakup. I was like, I do not need to date anybody. I need to learn how to be by myself. I need to
Mhm.
learn about myself. And then I got into the relationship that is now my marriage. And I was I was mothering him basically. I think
Mhm.
I was in the stage where I wanted to have a baby because I was like 28 and that biological clock was ticking.
Mhm.
And but I took care of him like he was a child, and it was kind of making up for something that I think was missed for me in childhood. Like, our parents weren't they were working, so they weren't there all the time. And they were very focused on just surviving financially. And then the chaos of all of us siblings. Like, kids can't raise kids. Kids don't really know how to get along nicely with each other. And so I ended up like kind of mothering who the, you know, what became my husband. And he, through his own childhood stuff, whatever it is, was willing to behave like a child in a sense, where he needed that kind of validation and that kind of caretaking.
Do you do you think it was like, I mean, I know you're using the word smothering, but do you think possibly it was just maybe molding, or do you think it was smothering? Like you wanted to,
Oh, not smothering, mothering.
oh, mothering.
Like there are archetypes, behavioral archetypes that people tend to fall into.
Mhm.
Um, Mother child would have
Yeah.
been this kind of
Oh,
because he was just kind of like letting me take the lead and take care of him.
right. Okay.
And he just kind of was like, yeah, she's smart. She's got it handled. And that wasn't something that I saw at the time, and I don't think he saw it either. We were in a codependent relationship where we
Hmm.
just yeah, but before that, the relationships I had been in were very even more codependent. Like um, we weren't allowed to do anything without each other. Like we had to be together all the time. All of our interests and things had to coincide.
Hmm.
And so I felt very liberated. At first, I didn't like it when he wanted to go and just go golf by himself. At first I was like, what? No, we don't do things separately. That's not how these relationships work. And then once I got used to the idea, I was like, actually, that works really well for me. I don't need to be with you all the time. I can go and be with my friends and actually have this whole life and identity that is not you. So that was positive. Um, and then it just ended up that we really have two separate lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in the same house. We have two kids. We do the sports and all the things and the finances, everything mixed together, but we don't really have much of a connection. The only thing we do together is like golf.
Yeah.
And um, you know, it takes a lot of effort to find things to do that we both are willing to do. And at some point, you just don't anymore.
Hmm.
And I think essentially we got married, and I had an expectation of what marriage was, that it was a partnership where both people are equally participating in all ways. And we never had a conversation about that. And I don't
Hmm.
know what his expectation was, but it seems like he just expected to go to work and come home, and I do the rest. Uh,
Which
so
isn't
I,
in any relationship.
that's a common belief, I think, for and that's um, maybe if one partner doesn't work, they do a lot of the other stuff. But we were, I was the breadwinner, and so he was going to work and not working full time, not making that much money, and all of the stress of everything else, including supporting us, was on me.
Right.
And I, once I had a baby, that mother archetype that was online was fulfilled by the baby and didn't want to have an, an adult child. Like,
Yep.
yeah. So then I just resented him,
Mm.
and he wasn't getting it, and I wasn't able to articulate it.
Communicate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the best communicator when it comes, like, talking about my feelings is pretty uncomfortable for me unless I'm like really disassociated from them.
Mm-hmm.
If I can laugh about them, I can talk about them, but if I have to feel them, I don't want to talk about them because I can't breathe and I can't talk when I can't breathe. So um so all of that stuff just leads to a lot of confusion in relationships, and uh, not when you have people that don't communicate with each other or communicate so differently that they can't understand each other. It just eventually just doesn't work.
Hmm.
And so it's just kind of bizarre because I didn't realize how much I was pretending in my marriage, just trying to force it to work, just trying to push through and to ignore the stuff. And then when I couldn't stand it anymore, I'd try to talk about it, and he was just like, what you're talking about. You're conjuring something in your mind. None of that's real. And then just feeling like a crazy person and just not being seen, not being heard.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's almost like when a couple becomes that distant for a while, they get somewhat comfortable with that distance. That may be a form of denial that there's something off, but as long as there's little things on the side to make up for that,
yeah,
they don't want to um, actually like address the truth because A, I don't know, maybe what's the alternative, or B, you know, emotionally maybe not ready to get into the conflict of what is wrong with the
yeah,
relationship. So it's denial, and then couples often blame each other for inadequacy because they don't want to confront the reality, which is difficult. It's difficult. It was difficult for Jamie and I before we got divorced, you know.
yeah.
But it's yeah, I don't.
Did you guys have similar stuff going on?
Well, yeah, I was 19. I got married, and I had 2 kids before I could buy a beer, and then working 3 jobs for I mean, come on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I I went to alcohol and made some stupid decisions, and you know, but eventually in divorce, we went through that. Um, and a lot of the stuff you're saying about being alone and finding your own person, I was fortunate because I had my family. I had Jill and you, and well, pretty much Jill and you. But
yeah,
but that it's a that's a total different scenario. But it's the same principle. Is that things just weren't working
yeah,
for obvious reasons.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If relationships tend to fail, there's an obvious reason for it. So it doesn't take a certain type of family systemic of getting married early or whatever that creates it. It is what it is. And so we live in the reality of now. So how do we live in that? How do we make adjustments? And it can be scary.
yeah. Very scary. And they don't have to be catastrophic and terrible. They
Oh no,
often,
no, no.
you know, people often make choices in that direction. I don't think we need to do that. Um, I think, he has a right to have a whole relationship and not one that's based on a bunch of false expectations that I had. And same for me, but I don't, I'm not worried about other relationships right now. Just worried about not continuing to be someone who does only what they should and not what they want, and not living in integrity and being a liar, like having someone else's, three people's lives being completely based on a lie that I'm telling myself and them. Uh, I don't think it's healthy for any of them.
Oh no. Well, healthy or not, they already know it.
Well, absolutely. They can feel
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah. I being there, and we love spending time there.
Yeah.
It was fun to be with. Yeah, I spent more time with Charlie and James and Kevin, but so what? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
At least we got to do that. And yeah, I could tell, but I already knew, you know,
Yeah.
I already knew. But that wasn't even the point of us. I wanted to go to just see you guys, and just I had no expectations, and you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can tell when there's a rift, but I already knew there was, but still didn't stop me from visiting, because that's not my conflict. My conflict is I want to spend more time with my niece and nephew, and with you, and a little bit with Ritter when he was around and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't stop anybody from visiting.
Oh
Not
God,
like not like we're not going to ever be around each other again. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
we'll have all the kids' sports and all the things. And I mean, ultimately, I would like to be friends. Just, that's where it's at. It's one of those things where you have to recognize when it's time.
yeah. So what do you? I mean, are you just gonna just keep trying to make the best of it, or
No.
yeah,
I mean, uh, no. We're obviously gonna have to. I mean, we can't just live together forever because
yeah,
that's unrealistic. Um, I think it's we're better parents when we're not around each other too, because we feed off each other's energy and
mm,
it escalates to a negative place. Um, it's just figuring out the finances. Like I don't want the kids to have to leave their home, and I don't think anybody needs to take anything from each other. We can just remain equal partners in the house and maybe get a condo and switch off being here with the kids. I
so
don't know.
you thinking separation for a spell?
No, no. I'm solidly all done. I'm done.
Mm,
We're not gonna stay married. There's just I don't think it's realistic for anybody to endure a life of celibacy just because we don't have a connection, just
yeah,
because we have children. I mean, that's silly.
it. That's one thing I told Ashley. Just like the number one thing that pretty much relationship is the lack of intimacy.
Hmm.
And then once that goes, then generally the relationship follows. Takes time.
That makes
That
sense.
was when we were going through a whole spell because of her medication, her, you know, no libido,
Yeah.
like zero since we got married, zero, once a year, twice a year.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. But
Oh,
having had that conversation with her, like, you know, well, we got to figure some shit out, or this isn't going to work, you know.
yeah.
And so we figured some shit out, and we made it work, and probably a lot of sacrifices on her because But no, that's physiological,
It
psychological.
is.
That
It is.
once that goes, then you know, look
Yeah.
at someone who had 900 wives. What an idiot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what a
They
tool.
must have been really lonely.
Oh, yeah. It's just come on. It's like just it's two opposite ends of the spectrum. From a man's his testo- his testosteronic, which I did make that word up by saying confidence.
Okay. All right.
If it sticks and if you believe it, then yeah,
I believe it. Testosteronic.
yeah.
I like it.
He believed in all his test his testosteronic abilities and all that. It's like you bite off more than you can chew. It's
Yeah.
like, chicken wing. Oh, here's a turkey leg at 3 pounds. Enjoy that. Well, this is too much. Well, duh.
Yeah. Yep.
If a little chicken wing and you don't get any, well, I just want the little chicken wing. No, you're good. It's like, well, no, that sucks. Have a smaller chicken wing. Actually, we're out of chicken wings. Do you still want to be? No, no, don't. So a weird analogy, but as it goes with intimacy, it's
Yeah.
a two-way street. There's no I can't pinpoint a blame. I couldn't in my own relationship because I had to do things myself, which I did. But
Yeah. Yeah. It is a two-way street.
yeah, there's never yeah.
Yeah. Always having to be the initiator gets tiresome
Oh yeah.
on the one, and then it gets tiresome on the other,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just, mm, nah, nah.
Yeah. Oh, I yeah, I I went through that quite a bit, and I eventually gave up, and it was I think the longest was 3 months,
Oh, okay.
and that was at the beginning, and I thought, man, what mistake did I make? Like, why did I get myself into?
Yeah,
But
it's been a little longer than that.
yeah, and that sucks, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know,
So, do you have any plans, or are you keeping that close to the chest? Or
yeah, well, once again, all the hard things fall in my lap. So I will have to figure out how to make more money so that we can afford another place, uh, and live, separately. So, so yeah, got to figure that out. I mean, I can do more accounting, but I'd rather like finish my book and do more writing. So, I mean, the quick and easy thing would be to do more accounting, but that's just not that easy anymore because I don't like it. But it's funny because I'm not the one who even does it. I have employees that do it. So
right?
I just review their work and answer their questions. So I should really just get on board with that and accept that that's okay. It's funny because I have this weird false belief about uh, me not being the one doing it means that I haven't earned the money and I'm not worthy of it.
Mm,
And that's really, it's not true because I have done the work, I've trained the people, and I do answer their questions and review their work. Um, it's just a silly thing that I think we learn as employees, clocking in and clocking out. You got to be the one clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my life.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's something that I've you know done a lot of work on, and I get it now. Uh, I'm like providing a person with a whole income by facilitating this business that he works in, and he's really grateful, and his life has improved a lot. And so I just need to focus on that and uh, doing marketing to find clients that are the right fit.
Yeah.
But I still need to do my writing stuff. I'm looking at multiple income streams. I don't want to be reliant on one income stream. And I also don't want to be the person that has to worry about all of that all the time.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But like you said, it falls on you anyway. So
Yeah, it does. So,
I don't know. Maybe at some point it won't. Maybe you'll come to a realization that, you know, just certain things won't stay the way they are and everything needs to change,
yeah,
which is scary, but
it is. It's hard to imagine. Uh, I don't I don't it's really hard to imagine that when you have been self-reliant for so long, and you've been believing that the only way to survive is to be 100% self-reliant. Otherwise, you'll be abused or victimized.
right.
That's one that has to be undone. And also, like, if I were to find some kind of partnership where I'm not 100% self-reliant, can I trust myself to pick a partner that
Mm-hmm.
is not going to be all the things that all the past partners have been?
Yeah. After the divorce, I dated Emily like 4 months,
Yeah.
and the girls loved her. She did a lot. She, of course, all I had to do was give her like my ATM and my debit card, and she could take the girls shopping and stuff. But I don't know. One night we're just hanging out, and she's drinking wine, and she just, started like she was a different person all of a sudden. It was weird, and she's bringing up all her past turmoil from
Mm.
her past and then saying the girls are going to end up this way, and it was all negative
Oh.
and nasty, and I just looked at her and I said, well, you usually aren't like this, but it's because she had been drinking wine, maybe had too much.
Yeah.
It didn't become fun or laughing or let's hang out or let's do this or that or around, you know jovial.
Yeah.
She became a toxic person after a certain amount, which meant
Uh,
she was hiding a lot
yeah.
in her closet. Those red flags. And I don't know if I talked to you or Jill.
Yeah. I think I remember a little bit about that.
No.
Yeah.
And like 2 days later, I broke up with her and that's when I just went by myself. So there's no guarantees.
No. Yeah.
I mean, find a pearl in a swamp, which is kind of what I did. But even that pearl, perfect as it is, there's nothing perfect because there's still,
No.
like I mentioned before, these issues, and like with intimacy and all that, you have to overcome them. And there's zero guarantees out there. It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe you should.
learning how to communicate is probably something that really, and recognizing somebody who's good at communicating. Those are probably things that would help, but uh, I don't trust myself to do that.
Well,
And I'm not too focused on that right now. I'm just trying to figure myself out.
Acacia always and Keely, they've they've come with us through all their financial strains and all their emotional strains. Um, Basically, like put all that on our laps, and I would just tell them that things are just temporary. They're always temporary. How long? Who knows? But
Yeah.
nothing stays the same. It just, or unless you want it to. But even then, at some point, there's going to be a shift. It's just in our genetics,
Yeah.
in our genome. You know, like look at in Africa, like elephants. They migrate. They're comfortable area. They just chill, and then something says in their brain, "We need to move over here. We need to change." And then there's a constant change and a constant change, and that's all just. But if it can happen with, or be like that with wildlife,
Yeah.
isn't it in us to a certain extent? But to what extent it takes to make a change and to bring it to fruition that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Different
takes
one swamp than another.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of uh, I mean, it depends on the person, but for me, it took a lot of self-reflection and a lot of understanding, finding all the things that I do that contribute to the things that make me unhappy. When I see those, then I can understand myself more, and I can see patterns of behavior, and it's easy to look at somebody else and blame them, but when you start to see all the things that you thought you weren't, but you are, and then you start to unravel the the lies that you tell yourself or you've told yourself all along, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And as much as you want to make something work that has never worked, it's just not possible because the whole foundation was sand. It was a lie.
Yeah,
It's false.
yeah, built on, yeah. Mm.
And when the other person in the relationship does not see that, that's really gets really, there's probably not much you can say to help them see it.
Well, now, distressing, I think, could be one way to phrase it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and usually, and I've been there before in a breakup where I thought that things were good and they weren't. And I didn't see them until there was enough distance that I could really reflect and see my part in it. I mean, if you're in a breakup and you're only blaming the other person, you're missing the point.
Oh,
Yeah, we have relationships to teach us things about ourselves and the way we relate to other people.
hmm.
But we are over our time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it better to stay in a toxic arrangement, which is done by everybody, kids and all, or is it better to take that unbelievably unnerving step to make a change and just go separate? That's difficult, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's hard. But if you're not happy in a current situation, then sometimes it's the transition to going through all that and then still trying to find happiness. Like
I
you,
think,
you don't want to like think you're going to be worse off than you already are. That can kind of be a dilemma, but I don't think that's a dilemma with you.
yeah, I think that's individual, and I don't think that looking for happy is maybe the thing that's the most realistic. I think looking for worth it.
Mm.
Is it worth it to stay in it, to work it out? Are we both really willing to commit and work at it and go through the hard stuff and still have deep love for each other? I I think that's probably more realistic. Um, and I've never had that.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I ever will. And I
Well, to be honest, you're never be as loved as you think you should be. Trust me.
oh I yeah, I could, I'm
That's
sure that's
that's a
true.
false illusion. Just we accept the love we think we deserve, and let's just hope to God that the love we think we deserve is adequate.
Mm, that's the big thing. That's the big thing, is having enough self-love to feel worthy
Mm-hmm.
of love that's gonna be satisfactory or
Yeah, I'm
enough.
40
Um,
and I'm a completely confident, I don't really care if you're better, you have a bigger truck, you make more money, I don't care. Um, you know, Ashley just stuck her head through the door with her tongue out, is me out like sort of bird, little out through the door. I think she's good, but
Probably.
just yeah, just we're never going to be as loved as we think we deserve, but is it adequate enough to make us feel loved enough?
I think what you're saying is we'll only be as loved as we think we deserve.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't feel very deserving. And that's the thing that we need to work on. And there are lots of tools for that.
Yes, there is. Electroshock therapy, LSD.
Lobotomy.
No, no lobotomies. No, that screws it all up. The rest of the stuff is a lot of fun. But now I don't want to make light of the situation, but I'm glad you opened up.
Yeah, thank you.
Means a lot. And yeah, I'm here.
Thank you for being here.
Well, you were there for me. So it would be ill kind
to be.
to not reciprocate. And I'm tired.
And we'll all be all right. We're all going to be all right.
Oh, one way or another, whether we like it or not. And if we don't like it, either way, time just keeps marching on. So we're, it's funny. They say father time and all that, but we are time's bitch. And I figured that time slaps us from the moment we go to sleep to the moment we wake up and all through the day. So none of this, oh, I set time for this. And I said, no, 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 no. Time's your slapping you 24/7. So go. And then the more you meld yourself with it, maybe, time will go by. The minutes and hours will go by. Maybe a little bit better than if we were fighting it.
That's true. I do spend way too much time worrying about what I did with my time.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well,
don't need to worry about that. Just accept that the time happened and what got done, and what didn't, and still alive, still okay.
I was going to bring up an Alan Watts. I don't know.
Oh.
I've got time for that. Practicing silence. Look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
I listened to it today and I turned the radio off and I really, really tried practice silence. And you know what? Hour 45 went by and eventually I found myself talking to myself.
Yeah.
So then I got kind of animated, but still, I was thinking.
That's good. Yeah, there's a book called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It.
Ooh.
That's when I'm starting. And
Is
I
that
heard it on
audio?
It is on Audible. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have Audible. I got Spotify.
It's probably there too.
Oh.
Yeah. Heard about that one on the Aubrey Marcus podcast, which is another good podcast. We should wrap it up though. It's bedtime. There we gave people tools for self-love. Oh, did we get disconnected?
Oh, wait. Are you there?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Were you there the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought I hung up. I'm on.
Oh. All right, good. talk with you soon. On Spotify. Okay, love you. Good night.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I should go on Spotify anymore because it blocks it out. Okay, I'm learning that really quick. Sorry.
Well, that's all right.
Wow, best podcast ever. So much editing. Anyway, what was the name of it?
The book? Or yeah, yeah. Love yourself like your life depends on it.
Love yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna go to Spotify.
All right. I love you.
You too. Love yourself like your life depends on it. Okay,
All right. Have a good night.
I will. Love you.
Love you too.
Good night.
Good night.